The discovery. The alarm screamed through the bridge of the Velcon patrol ship Shadow Wing. Captain Zektor froze, his purple scales shifting to pale white. In his 20 years of service, he had never heard that particular sound. Report, he barked at his sensor officer. Officer Drin's hands shook as she checked her screens. Sir, we have a contact. In Sector 7. The bridge went silent. Everyone knew about Sector 7. The forbidden sector. For 300 years, it had been marked with red warnings on every star map. Ships that entered never came back. Strange energy readings made sensors go crazy. The Galactic Council had declared it off-limits 2 centuries ago. Nothing ever entered Sector 7. Until today, are you certain? Zektor asked, his voice low. Yes, sir. Large object, drifting. It just appeared on our scans. Zektor stared at the red zone on his display. His orders were clear. Patrol the border. Never cross it. Report anything unusual and wait for backup. But something in his gut told him this was different. Take us closer. But stay outside the boundary. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Nobody argued. They knew better. As the Shadow Wing moved closer, the sensors began picking up more details. The object was huge, at least 3 times the size of their patrol ship. It was made of metal. Definitely a ship, not an asteroid or debris. I'm getting power readings, Drin said, confusion in her voice. Faint, but they're there. Sir, this ship is still active. What species? Zektor asked. Velcon? Thraxian? Corten? Drin worked her controls, pulling up the ship's signature. Then she stopped. Her scales turned completely white. Sir, it's human. The bridge erupted in shocked whispers. Humans, that was impossible. The human territories were on the other side of the galaxy. They never came to this sector. They didn't even have ships this big. At least not according to the intelligence reports. Show me, Zektor ordered. The main screen flickered to life. There, floating in the darkness of space, was a ship unlike anything they had ever seen. It had the basic shape of human design, long, angular, built for speed and war. But something was wrong. The hull was covered in strange symbols that glowed with a soft blue light. The metal itself seemed to shimmer as if it was not quite solid. Battle damage scarred the sides. Huge gashes cut through the armor. But there was something else. Something that made Zektor's blood run cold. Parts of the ship looked twisted, as if space itself had bent around it. How long has it been here? He asked, scanning the hull decay and radiation levels. Drin paused. Sir, this ship has been here for at least 50 years. Maybe more, 50 years. Floating dead in the most dangerous sector in known space. But the power reading said it was still alive. Life support, Zektor asked quietly. Active, minimal but running. And sir? Drin's voice cracked. There are heat signatures inside. The bridge fell silent again. Heat signatures meant life. But nothing could survive 50 years on a dead ship in the forbidden sector. Zektor's mind raced. He should report this immediately. Call for backup. Let the council decide what to do. That was the smart choice. The safe choice. But he thought about his career. His whole life had been routine patrols and boring reports. This was something real. Something important. If he waited, the council would send someone else. This discovery would belong to them, not him. Prepare a boarding team, he said. His second officer, Vex, stood up. Sir, the regulations. I know the regulations, Zektor snapped. But we have a duty to investigate. That ship could have survivors, or important information. We're going aboard. Vex sat down slowly. Nobody else argued. The boarding team assembled quickly. 5 soldiers in full armor, carrying weapons and scanning equipment. Zektor watched them prepare on the monitor. He wanted to go himself, but captains didn't leave their ships during first contact. Sir, Drin's voice cut through his thoughts. You need to see this. He looked at a screen. The human ship's exterior lights were changing, getting brighter, slowly like something waking up from a long sleep. Is it responding to our presence? Zektor asked. I don't know. But sir, look at the airlock. The main screen zoomed in on the human ship's side. The primary airlock door was moving, opening, slowly sliding apart, but they hadn't hailed the ship, hadn't sent any signals. Nobody had touched that airlock in 50 years. It was opening from the inside. Vex stood up again. Sir, we should leave, now. Zektor stared at the screen. His scales had gone pale again. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to get far away from this cursed sector and whatever was on that ship. But he couldn't look away from that opening door. Boarding team. he said quietly. Proceed with caution, but proceed. As the team's shuttle launched toward the human ship, none of them noticed something else. Deep inside the human vessel, more lights were turning on, one by one, moving through the corridors, as if something was walking through the ship, waiting for guests to arrive. The boarding. The shuttle docked with a soft clang that echoed through the silent human ship. Team leader Vaughn checked his weapon one last time. Behind him, 4 soldiers waited, their breathing loud inside their helmets. Remember, Vaughn said into his comm, we don't know what we're dealing with. Stay close, stay alert. The airlock finished cycling. The inner door slid open with a hiss. Vaughn stepped through first, weapon raised, then he stopped. By the gods, he whispered. The corridor before them was perfect. Pristine. Clean white walls gleamed under soft lights. The floor showed no scratches, no wear, no dust. It looked like the ship had been built yesterday, but that was impossible. This ship had been floating dead for 50 years. Atmosphere is breathable, said Kira, the team's science officer. Temperature is comfortable, 22 degrees, perfect for humans. Life support shouldn't work this well on a dead ship, Vaughn muttered. They moved forward slowly. The corridor stretched ahead, lined with doors. Each door had a nameplate, human names written in their strange alphabet. Crew quarters, Vaughn realized. Lights are following us, said Thex, pointing up. He was right. As they walked, the ceiling lights ahead flickered on. The lights behind them dimmed, like the ship was tracking their movement. Just automatic systems, Vaughn said. But his voice shook slightly. They reached an intersection. Vaughn checked his scanner. Command deck is up. Engineering is down. Crew quarters continue forward. Let's check the quarters first, Kira suggested. See if we can find anyone. They turned down another corridor. More doors. More names. Then Vaughn noticed something strange. Stop, he said. The team froze. Count the doors on the left side, Vaughn ordered. They counted. 25 doors. Now the right side, 26 doors. The ship's blueprint shows 50 crew quarters, Kira said slowly. 25 on each side. But there's one extra door, Vaughn finished. They stared at the additional door at the end of the right corridor. It had no nameplate, no window, just smooth metal with a strange symbol carved into it. The symbol glowed faintly, the same blue light they had seen on the ship's hull. We'll check that later, Vaughn decided. First, let's find the crew. They entered the nearest quarters. Inside, Vaughn's scales went pale again. The room was lived in. A bed neatly made. Personal photos on the wall, showing a smiling human woman with her family. A half-read book on the desk. A cup of liquid on the nightstand. Kira scanned the cup. This coffee is fresh, made within the last hour. That's impossible, Thex said, but it was true. They checked 3 more rooms. All the same. Fresh food, warm beds, personal items carefully arranged. As if the crew had just stepped out for a moment. Where are they? Kira whispered. A sound echoed through the corridor. Soft, musical, like wind chimes, but deeper. Did you hear that? Vaughn asked. Everyone nodded. The sound came again. Closer this time. Coming from ahead, deeper in the ship, they moved forward, weapons ready. The corridor opened into a common area. Tables, chairs, a small kitchen. A large screen on the wall showing star maps. And in the center of the room, a terminal. Still active. Ship's log, Kira said, approaching it carefully. It's still recording. She pressed a button. The screen flickered. A woman's face appeared. Human, middle-aged, with tired eyes and short dark hair. She wore a captain's uniform. Captain's log. Sarah Chen. Earthship Wanderer. Date August 17th, 2192. Vaughn's translator did quick math. That was 73 years ago. The woman on the screen looked directly at the camera. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. We entered Sector 7 5 days ago, chasing an unknown signal. Command told us not to. But the signal, it was calling. Not in words, in feelings, hope, curiosity, welcome. She paused, looking off screen at something. We found it yesterday. A station, ancient, not human. Not any species we've ever encountered. The technology, it's millions of years old. The scientists think whoever built it died before humans even existed. Another pause. Longer this time. We brought something back. It wanted to come. I know that sounds crazy, but we all felt it. This presence, it's not hostile. It doesn't want to hurt us. It's just Her voice dropped to a whisper. "It's waiting." The screen flickered. Another entry. The same woman, but her expression had changed. Calmer, almost peaceful. Final log entry. "We understand now. The ancient race. They didn't die, they left. And they left a guardian behind. Not to protect something, to protect us from what's out there in the deep dark between galaxies." She smiled slightly. "We're staying. All of us. Volunteers. The guardian needs company. It's been alone so long. Too long, and in return, it gives us time, safety, purpose." She stood up, looking directly into the camera. "To whoever finds this, don't be afraid. We're still here. We're happy, and we've been waiting." The guardian knew others would come eventually. The screen went dark. The team stood in silence for a long moment. Then a voice spoke. Not through their comms, not from any speaker. It simply appeared in their minds, clear and calm. "Welcome back, crew. The others are waiting for you in the garden. Would you like to join them?" It spoke in perfect human English, but somehow they all understood it. Vaughn's weapon clattered to the floor. His hands wouldn't work. His whole body had gone numb with fear. "There is no garden on the ship's blueprint," Kira said slowly, checking her scanner with shaking hands. The voice spoke again, gentle and patient. "Deck 7, Section C, the garden has been waiting. The crew has been waiting. Captain Chen has been waiting." The lights in the corridor changed. A path of blue lights appeared, leading deeper into the ship. "Please," the voice said. "They are so excited to meet you." Thex turned to run, but the airlock door had sealed behind them. No controls would open it. They were trapped. Vaughn picked up his weapon. His training took over, pushing down the fear. "We follow the lights. Stay together. If anything happened, what could we do?" Kira asked quietly. "This thing, it's in the walls, in the air, in our heads." She was right. But Vaughn couldn't just give up. "We move forward," he said firmly. "We find the crew. We get answers. Then we find a way out." The blue lights pulsed gently, waiting. Vaughn took a breath and started walking. His team followed. As they moved through the corridors, none of them noticed the terminal behind them, flickering back to life. Captain Sarah Chen's face appeared on the screen again. She was smiling, and she hadn't aged a single day. The garden. The blue lights led them through corridors that seemed to stretch forever. Vaughn's scanner showed they were moving toward Deck 7, but the distance didn't make sense. The ship wasn't this big. It couldn't be. "My scanner is going crazy," Kira said. "According to this, we've walked 2 kilometers. But the ship is only 800 meters long. Space feels wrong here," Thex added. "Like it's bigger on the inside." They reached a large door. The symbol carved into it matched the one on the mysterious 51st door they had seen earlier. Blue light pulsed through the carved lines like a heartbeat. Above the door, human words, "Biodome, authorized personnel only." "A biodome," Vaughn said. "On a military ship." The door slid open before anyone could touch it. Warm air rushed out, carrying the smell of earth and growing things. The smell of life. Vaughn stepped through and his weapon dropped again. They stood at the edge of a massive garden. Trees reached up toward an artificial sun that hung in a sky that shouldn't exist. Grass-covered rolling hills. A small stream ran through the center, its water crystal clear. Flowers of every color bloomed everywhere. It was beautiful, perfect, impossible. This space. Kira's voice shook. "This is bigger than the entire ship. This can't exist, but it did." They could see it, smell it, feel the warm breeze on their scales. Movement caught Vaughn's eye. People, humans, walking through the garden, tending to plants. Sitting by the stream, talking and laughing. The crew, Thex whispered. There were dozens of them, all wearing the same uniform as Captain Chen, all looking healthy, happy, young, too young. A woman approached them. She walked with confidence, a gentle smile on her face. As she got closer, Vaughn recognized her from the video log. Captain Sarah Chen. She looked exactly the same as she had 73 years ago. Not a single gray hair, not a single wrinkle. Her eyes were clear and bright. "Welcome," she said warmly. "We've been waiting so long for others to find us." Vaughn raised his weapon instinctively. "Stay back. What is this? What happened to you?" Sarah looked at the weapon with amusement, not fear. "You won't need that here. Nothing in the garden hurts anyone. That's its whole purpose." "Whose purpose?" Vaughn demanded. The keepers, Sarah said simply. That's what we call it. The Guardian. The entity. It doesn't really have a name in any language we know. More crew members gathered around, curious but not threatening. Vaughn counted quickly. 50 humans, just like the blueprint said. All young, all healthy, all staring at the new arrivals with strange, peaceful expressions. You should be old, Kira said. Dead. That was 73 years ago. Sarah nodded. Time works differently here. In the garden. The Keeper. It exists in multiple dimensions at once. Past, present, future, they're all the same to it. And in this space, in its presence, we exist outside normal time. That's impossible, Thex said. So is a garden inside a spaceship, Sarah countered. So is a voice that speaks directly into your mind. But here we are. Vaughn lowered his weapon slightly. What happened? Tell us everything. Sarah gestured toward a group of chairs near. The stream. Sit, I'll explain. You deserve to understand. They sat, though Vaughn kept his weapon close. The human crew gave them space but continued working in the garden. Peaceful. Content. Sarah began her story. We found the station 73 years ago. It was ancient, built by a race that existed millions of years before any of us. They were explorers, watchers. They traveled the galaxy, observing younger species, learning about life in all its forms. She paused, looking up at the artificial sun. But the other species didn't like being watched. They felt invaded, studied, so they formed an alliance. A war fleet. They hunted the Watchers down and killed them all. All except one, Kira said quietly. Sarah nodded. The last one. They couldn't kill it, so they imprisoned it, locked it in that station with technology designed to keep it there forever. And they declared this whole sector forbidden, dangerous. They spread stories about ships disappearing, about strange readings about death and madness. So no one would find it, Vaughn realized. Exactly. They wanted it forgotten, alone, forever. Sarah's expression grew sad. Can you imagine? Millions of years, alone in the dark. Your entire species dead. No one to talk to, no one to share existence with. Just silence and emptiness. Thex shifted uncomfortably. So when you found it, it was so happy, Sarah said softly. Not angry, not vengeful, just grateful. It asked us, didn't force, didn't demand. Just asked if we would stay, keep it company, and we agreed. Why? Vaughn asked. Sarah smiled. Because it offered us something in return. Not just extended life, though that's part of it. It offered us purpose, knowledge, understanding. She stood and gestured around the garden. This place. It's not just a garden. It's a memory, a recreation of the Watcher homeworld. The Keeper made it for us from its memories, so we would be comfortable, happy. It's a prison, Vaughn said flatly. No, Sarah said firmly. A prison is forced. We choose to stay. We can leave the garden anytime we want. Walk the ship, live in our quarters. But out there, time catches up with us. In here, in the Keeper's presence, we exist in a bubble of preserved time. Show us, Kira said suddenly. Show us this Keeper. Sarah's expression grew serious. Are you sure? It's difficult to look at. Your minds aren't built to process something that exists in multiple dimensions. Show us, Vaughn repeated. Sarah nodded. She led them deeper into the garden toward the center where the artificial sun hung. But as they got closer, Vaughn realized it wasn't a sun at all. It was a door. The 51st door. It stood in the middle of the garden, surrounded by flowers. The same blue symbol glowed on its surface, brighter now. It stays in there, Sarah explained. Its chamber, the heart of the garden. It only comes out when new visitors arrive. She placed her hand on the door. It slid open silently. Light poured out. Soft, blue, warm light that seemed to pulse with life. And in the center of that light, Vaughn tried to look at it directly. His mind screamed. His eyes couldn't focus. It was there, but also not there. It had shape, but also no shape. It was small, but also infinite. It was one thing, but also many things. The Keeper. It didn't have a body. Not really. It existed as pure consciousness, pure energy, barely held in physical space. Vaughn could see glimpses, tendrils of light, shifting patterns, colors that had no names. And behind it all, the sense of something vast, ancient, lonely. The voice spoke in their minds again, gentle, patient, sad. Welcome, travelers. Forgive my appearance. I tried to take a form your minds can process, but I am too different, too old, too other. Vaughn found his voice. What do you want from us? Company, the keeper said simply. Understanding. I have been alone for so long. The humans stay with me willingly. They bring joy to my existence, and I protect them in return. Keep them safe. Keep them young. Give them purpose. You're keeping them prisoner, Vaughn accused. No. The voice was firm but not angry. I keep them alive, happy, protected. They can leave whenever they wish, but they choose to stay. Ask them yourself. Vaughn turned to Sarah. She nodded. It's true. We stay because we want to. The Keeper has shown us wonders, taught us things about the universe that humanity never dreamed, and in return we give it what it wants most. Friendship. The Keeper's light pulsed, and suddenly images filled Vaughn's mind. He saw the ancient Watcher civilization at its peak. Beautiful cities, peaceful exploration, joy in discovery. Then the war, the genocide, the imprisonment, millions of years of darkness and silence. Then the humans arriving. The Keeper's joy at finally having someone to talk to again. The images faded. I offer you the same choice, the Keeper said. Stay with me, learn, grow. I will share my knowledge. I will keep you safe. I will give you time as much as you need. And if we refuse? Vaughn asked. Silence. Long and heavy. Then the voice spoke again, and for the first time Vaughn heard true sadness in it. Then I will simply wait, as I have waited before, forever if necessary. With everyone who finds me. The door behind them slammed shut. Vaughn spun around. The exit was sealed. His team raised their weapons, panic in their eyes. What are you doing? Vaughn shouted. I am so tired of being alone, the Keeper said quietly. Please stay just for a while. Talk with me. Learn from me. You don't have to stay forever, just don't leave yet. Sarah touched Vaughn's arm. It won't hurt you. It's just scared, desperate. Can you imagine being the last of your kind? Vaughn stared at the shifting light that was the Keeper. His mind raced. They were trapped. Their ship was outside, waiting, but they couldn't reach it, and somewhere in the back of his mind, a terrible realization formed. The Keeper didn't just want company. It needed it, craved it, and it would do anything to keep from being alone again. Anything. The choice Vaughn's hand tightened on his weapon, but he didn't raise it. What good would it do? You couldn't shoot something that existed in multiple dimensions, something that could seal doors with a thought. Open the door, he said firmly. Now, the Keeper's light pulsed almost like a sigh. I cannot, not yet. Please understand. I need you to understand before you leave. Understand what? Kira asked, her voice shaking. Why I am here. What I guard. What waits in the darkness beyond this galaxy. Sarah stepped forward. Listen to it, please, just listen. Then decide. Vaughn wanted to refuse, wanted to find a way out by force. But he was a soldier. He knew when he was beaten. At least for now, talk, he said. But my ship knows we're here. If we don't return, they'll send reinforcements. I know, the Keeper said. I can feel their sensors touching this vessel. I mean them no harm. I mean you no harm. I simply need you to carry a message. The light shifted, and suddenly they were somewhere else. Not physically. They still stood in the garden, but their minds had been transported. They saw space. Not the space they knew, safe and mapped with trade routes and colonies. This was the deep dark, the void between galaxies where nothing lived, and in that darkness something moved. Vaughn felt his blood freeze. He couldn't see it clearly. His mind refused to process it, but he felt it. Vast, hungry, ancient in a way that made even the Keeper seem young. The Devourers, the Keeper's voice whispered. That is what my people called them. They exist in the spaces between galaxies. They feed on energy, on life, on entire civilizations. The vision shifted. Vaughn saw a galaxy, not his own, but similar. Billions of stars, countless worlds. Then the darkness came. The Devourers swept through like a wave, and where they passed, stars went dark. Worlds died. Entire civilizations vanished in moments. My people discovered them 3 million years ago, the Keeper continued. We tried to warn the younger races, tried to help them prepare, but they didn't trust us. They thought we wanted to control them, so they killed us instead. The vision changed again. The war, the Watchers being hunted, their cities burning. their people dying. And when we were gone, there was no one left to watch for the Devourers. No one to give warning when they come. The vision faded. They were back in the garden. Come? Thex said. You mean they're coming here? Not yet, the Keeper said. They move slowly. They have already consumed the Andromeda Galaxy. In 5,000 years they will reach this galaxy. And when they do, every species here will die, unless someone warns them, unless someone prepares them. Vaughn's mind reeled. 5,000 years seemed like a long time. But for an entity that had lived millions of years, it was nothing. A blink. Why tell us this? He asked. Because I cannot leave this ship, the Keeper said sadly. The prison the ancient races built. It is not just in the station. They built it into space itself. I can exist in this vessel because the humans brought part of the station aboard. But I cannot travel, cannot warn others, cannot help. So you want us to do it? Kira said. Yes, Sarah spoke up. We've spent 73 years learning from the Keeper. It has shared technology with us, weapons, shields, ways to fight the Devourers. But we can't leave either. If we go too far from the garden, from the Keeper's presence, time catches up with us. We age instantly. We die. Then you are prisoners, Vaughn said. No, Sarah said firmly. We are volunteers. We knew the cost when we chose to stay, and we've used our time well. We've recorded everything, all the Keeper's knowledge, stored in the ship's computers, ready to share. The Keeper's light pulsed again. I ask for a trade. You take this knowledge, share it with your people, with the humans, with all the species of this galaxy. Help them prepare for what is coming.